Vande Mataram children. I, Mr. Basaraj Nipani, welcome you all to Sir Kalam Tutorial YouTube education channel. Dear guys, as you all know, in my previous video class, we have discussed about two important features of democracy. That is second one, free and fair electoral competition. And third one, that is one person, one vote and one value. And in today's class, let us begin to discuss about the fourth and final feature of democracy, that is rule of law and respect for rights. Rule of law and respect for rights. This is the fourth and final feature of democracy, which can be studied through a small story of Zimbabwe. I hope you all know about Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a small country of African continent which attained its independence in the year 1980 from white minority rule. Means Zimbabwe became an independent country in the year 1980. Before 1980, Zimbabwe was under the control of white minority who lived in Zimbabwe. Though black people were in majority, Zimbabwe was under the control of white people. White people were the rulers in Zimbabwe. Since then, the country has been under the rule of ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF is the name of a political party which led the freedom struggle. And the meaning of ZANU-PF is like this: Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Front. This was the only political party which led the freedom struggle. So after independence, since independence, the country has been under the rule of ZANU-PF. And the leader of this political party, that is Robert Mugabe, ruled the country since independence. And elections were held regularly after every 5 years. Elections were held in Zimbabwe regularly after every 5 years, and always elections were won by ZANU-PF only. It doesn't mean there were no other political parties. Yes, exactly, there were smaller political parties, there were opposition parties, but they never managed to win the elections. Elections were always won by ZANU-PF, Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Front. And the leader of this political party and the president of the country, Robert Mugabe, was so popular as he was democratically elected. But he used some unfair practices in the elections. He used some dirty tricks to win the elections. And the government tried to change the constitution several times to increase the power of the president. So the president of the country, that is Robert Mugabe, and his government changed the constitution of Zimbabwe several times to increase the power of the president and also to make him less accountable. And the opposition parties and the other political parties were harassed by the government. ZANU-PF was the political party which led the government, which harassed the other political parties and other opposition parties. And public protests as well as demonstrations were declared illegal. It means if any other political party or people who are against the government used to have some protests and they used to declare some demonstrations against the government, they were declared illegal. And all such people who were involved in the struggles and protests and movements were punished by the government because their protests, their public demonstrations were declared illegal. And the medias such as television and radio were controlled by the government itself. And instead of criticizing the government, instead of criticizing the rule of the president, if he is not working properly, they were working in favor of Robert Mugabe. Television, media were controlled by the government itself, and they were always under the control of Robert Mugabe, and they were always appreciating the work and the rule of Robert Mugabe instead of criticizing him. And there were independent newspapers and there were independent medias, and there were a lot of journalists who were harassed by the government when they went against it. So there were many journalists, there were many independent newspapers, and there were many medias who were criticizing the work and the rule of the president of the country, that is Robert Mugabe, and the party that is called ZANU-PF. But all such journalists were controlled and they were harassed by Robert Mugabe and his government, because when they went against him. And Robert Mugabe's government ignored some Robert Mugabe and his government ignored some court judgments, because many of the court judgments went against his government and him. So when they went against him, he ignored all such court judgments. So in this regard, once he was thrown out of the office in the year 2017. In this regard, he was thrown out of the office in the year 2017. So this is all about Zimbabwe. This is all about Zimbabwe's independence and Zimbabwe's political party, that is ZANU-PF, and Zimbabwe's government, which was led by Robert Mugabe, and he was democratically elected leader and he was so popular, but he used some dirty tricks and malpractices and unfair practices to win the elections. The example of Zimbabwe shows that the popular approval of the ruler is necessary in democracy. The example of Zimbabwe shows that the popular approval of the ruler is necessary in democracy, but it is not sufficient, but it is not enough, because the popular government can be undemocratic. Sometimes a popular government can be undemocratic and the popular leader can be autocratic. A popular leader can be autocratic. So there should be sufficient room for normal political activity. So in democracy, in democratic government, always there must be a normal room for political activity, and people's right must be respected, and people must be free to have their opinions. People must be free to have their choice. People must be free and they must be free to have their expressions in publics, and also they must have free chance to form associations. They must be free to form some associations. So people must be given all these kinds. People must be free to think. People must be free to have their public opinions. People must be free to put their opinion against the government if the government is not working properly. And people must be free to form associations. People must be free to have organizations. And as well as people must be very free to have protests and public demonstrations. So these all kinds of general rights must be given to people in democratic government. And all these kinds of rights which will be given to people must be protected, and they shall be given to people, and they must be protected by an independent department called a judiciary department, whose orders must be obeyed by everyone. So all the rights which will be given to people in democratic government or in any other form of government, they must be protected by an independent department called judiciary department. And the orders and the rules which are assigned by judiciary department, they must be obeyed by each and every single citizen of the country. So this can be studied in some of the other lessons. So this is all about Zimbabwe's example. So here similarly we can understand that there are some conditions that apply to the way the government should run before and after the election. There are some conditions that apply to the government, in which way the government should run after the election. Not only before the election, after the election, how the government is run is very important to understand. So there are some conditions. The first condition is like this: the government should respect the basic rules and the rights of the citizens. The government should respect some basic rules and it should respect some basic rights of the citizens. Particularly, the government should also respect the basic rights of the minority. The government should guarantee some basic rights to the minority. And the democratically elected government or the democratic government should always go through a series of major decisions of any democratic government go through a series of consultations. I hope this point is clear. Once again let me clear it. the rights of the citizens should be respected, and the government should follow some basic rules and laws of the country, and the major decision should go through series of consultations. And the third one, that is, every office bearer has some responsibilities and some rights which are assigned by the constitution and the law of the government. Let me repeat it once again. Every office bearer has some rights and responsibilities assigned by the constitution and the law of the country. So these both the aspects, the example of the example of Zimbabwe, and the conditions that apply to the way the government should run after the elections, these both the aspects give us the final and the fourth feature of democracy, that is, the democratic government should always run within limits set by the constitution and the law of the country. This gives us the fourth and final feature of the democracy, that is, a democratic government works or runs within limits set by the constitution and law of the country. So this is all about the fourth major feature of democracy, that is, rule of law and respect for rights. So now let us move and jump into another important point of this lesson, that is summary of the definition. So far we have discussed about various definitions, so far we have discussed about various meanings of democracy, and so far we have also learnt about four major features of democracy. That is, first one, major decisions by elected leaders, and the second one, free and fair electoral competition, third one person, one vote and one value, and the fourth one, that is rule of law and respect for rights. So through all these features, through all these definitions, we came to understand the broader idea of democracy. We came to understand the broader meaning of democracy, and we got to know some basic points, and we got to know some basic features of democracy, such as in democratic government, elected rulers are elected by the people who take major decisions. This is the first point. This is the first feature which we have understood so far from the discussion of democracy, from the understanding of democracy. That is this: rulers are elected by the people who take all the major decisions in the country. And the second one, elections offer real choice. Elections offer real choice and fair opportunities to remove the current rulers. We got to know this. Elections offer real choice and the fair opportunities which allows people to change the current rulers. And the third one, this choice will be given to each and every single citizen on an equal basis, right? This choice will be given to each and every single citizen of the country who are adult citizens on an equal basis. And this choice also shows that, this exercise also shows that democratically elected government or democratic government works within the limits set by the constitution and the law of the country. So this is all about the fourth feature of democracy, that is rule of law and respect for rights, and the summary of the definition. So in my next class we shall discuss about one more major topic of this lesson, that is why democracy. Till then, take care, goodbye.